Go.
All right. So I was saying that here
Go.
I am. What did you do?
That's how we start the show now. Go.
Run.
And go. I like that. So I've been working as a part time at a junk business. We
Please
haul
tell them
away.
the name. It's my favorite name.
It's so the name of the business is Mess Hall Men, and our motto is "Let us grab your junk."
Yeah, it is.
So we've been we got our first estate, and we're clearing out a hoarder's house, and basically everything can be separated into three different piles. Train parts, because he was a master mechanic. He worked on steam engines, porn, and piles of cash. Yeah, that's
three kinds of trains.
It's it. Yeah, it's I invented America's favorite game. It's called Trains or Porn, and I just read the name of the videos. All aboard, and you have to guess if that's gay porn or if that's trains.
Do you have any lined up for us to play?
Well, I just gave you one. All aboard.
Besides the one you.
Yeah, sure.
Which is obviously a gay
sure.
porn.
Iron Men.
Ooh.
Oh, gay porn. Wait, the name of a train or is train saying?
It's the name of this dude he had train.
No, making sure. The game is names of trains.
No, is it trains or is it porn? Is it train
right.
trains
or
the
name of a fucking train? The trains.
Yeah, it's a name.
Movie.
It's the name of a train.
Movie.
It's either the name of a train movie, a train magazine, a porn magazine, or a porn movie.
Well, the one you said, it's like a workout movie, isn't it? Or is it
what? Iron Man.
A pumping iron.
Yeah, you're thinking of Pumping Iron with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Never thought of that before my wife. I hate that I'm thinking of it now. I'm gonna go gay porn.
I'll say train unless he was into gay porn. It's a train video.
Well, he was into gay porn. It was everything was either.
That helps.
It's either trains or gay porn.
No, you've got to give us the part where he's into gay porn.
Oh yeah,
I think it's a joke.
Pat, it's all the same to Dave.
It's all the same. Dave just looked up gay porn names and matched them up.
No, it's this dude loved
training videos.
This dude loved two things: trains and cock.
Anything that ran through a hole. Did he call himself the caboose?
Well, one of the titles is "Now That's a Caboose."
Yeah, that's gay porn. You wouldn't say that about a train. Oh, that's a caboose.
All right. My question is, what is a title that's a train movie? Because like everything you say, we're just gonna say gay porn. Like
Polar Express.
There was a train magazine, train publication called the Iron Men.
There better be one called Bipolar Express.
Brought to you by Latuda.
In the other train movie I know, Bipolar Express. What other train movies are there?
What's the one with
Throw Mama from the Train?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, because she's not gay. Get her out of here.
Bring in Daddy.
We don't need those straight bitches on this train ruining everything.
No matter how ugly they are.
Training day.
Gives a whole new meaning to that movie.
Come on, ride the train. Come ride it. Come on, ride the train.
The last train to Clarksville.
And I'm leaving at the station.
to Clark's asshole.
Yeah, damn it. The last train to Clark's pants.
On the last train to Clarksville, and we're leaving at the station. I'm leaving my virginity. And my morals. All right, Brandon, we don't have a topic this week because we're all working. I know that, but I'm working 4 overnights again. I'm about to go to the 3rd day of it. So here's my thought. Let's all ask each other questions. Not like you asking me a question that we think we know the answer to, but we're kind of like, what other people's opinions on this question, or is it a real thing, or something kind of debunked, but doesn't have to be debunk. You know what I mean? Like I can start.
Okay.
Let's Dave, you want to start?
No. Go ahead. You already have an idea.
Because I thought of this the other day. I was at work, and there was a little kid, and he was just fucking. He's a little fat black kid, and and that means nothing to the story, but whatever. Fuck you. Giving you visuals, and he's walking ahead of his parents, and he just jumps in the air and goes, "Ha ha!" And there's no one there. He's not scaring anybody. He just jumped 3 tiles to the next 3 tiles, and then I noticed he jumped to 3 more tiles. And then he like stops and he's talking out loud, but there's no one fucking there, and everyone's you have masks on, but you can tell people are smiling because this kid's having a good fucking time. Why the fuck does that go away? Why? We all did it as a kid. We all went to the store. We all went somewhere with our family and friends, and we would just start playing make believe or fucking jump in or run. Some parents will yell, "Stop running, stop jumping," but you don't because you fucking want to. You want to jump. You want to pretend you're a fucking pirate when you're at a goddamn gas station. Your mind is going there. You're having no inhibitions. You're exploring. You're imagining, and then some people. I know some people say, well, I'm that free all the time. Well, you're fucking not because you're not at work doing it. You're not doing it it's not every moment that you can. I remember, Brady, you say that, but you are working at times. You are taking you're taking a lot of the stuff with the mask and stuff very seriously. And
oh, yeah.
Good job, Dave. But
thank you.
I know what
I
you're
don't
saying.
want to know what you Googled.
Fat black kid.
I just thought it rhymed with piglet.
He
Anyway.
Googled my date last Friday night, as in his own date, not mine.
No, Brandon. Everyone out there, please cut that out. Brandon's date last Friday night. Friday. What happens to that ability in our brains? Why does that cut off? Was it there that we did it? Well, we're all going to answer, Brandon. That's the whole fucking thing. And you don't have to answer. I mean, obviously, it's going to be your opinion. And I want you to be clear on that. You don't have the answers.
Could it be? I might.
Could be. But
I know. I get it.
Also could not be. I, as your friend, I want to start humbling the Christ ego a little. 3 weeks ago, you told us you're from the future, and ever since, we've been worried about you.
I am in the future.
Not in the future. It's fucking 7:08.
When is AMC gonna pop?
7:08 Eastern Standard Time, and I'm motherfucking talking to you right now because I'm not in the future. This is a relic. So, what happens to that? Why? Not only do we, in my opinion, it's not 100% us saying we can't do that anymore because I do it many times. I almost do it. I do it for comedy. I do it for when I want to write and create. I can go right back to fucking just thinking make believe. When I go to sleep at night and I can't sleep, I think of something made up and it helps me go to sleep. But I don't just. And I'll do it at work. Like these overnights, music comes on. I start dancing around, saying dumb shit, jumping around, and people will be like, "What are you doing?" So we could do it, but I don't do it with that same way, and it's not accepted the same way.
Yeah.
So what the fuck happens to that?
I will say this. I agree with you, but I did have this moment. Like, if we can find it, I think it works pretty well. I had this moment today. I was driving, and
Did the tiger
song,
eat the black kid?
Yeah.
All right.
He's too fat to run.
Now that tiger has diabetes.
Now the tiger is just sitting there like, yep.
Why did he eat Precious's foot?
Because he
that
could.
Kid looked like? Go ahead.
Because he could. So I was driving and a good, what the hell is it? Jump for My Love. You know that song. Your eyes tell me that I want you. So I started grooving out and I'm driving and I'm singing. And then I passed a lady who was coming the other way and we made like really serious eye contact, but I didn't stop. And I kept singing the song to her. She went by and she started doing it. So you can pass that shit on.
Jump for your love. Jump in the human touch. That fucking song?
Yeah, I love that
song. You are gay. Is that the Pointer Sisters?
I think it is. It's either that or, it was either listen to that or I'm just doing the neutron dance.
That's not the only options.
Well, those are the only two Pointer Sister songs
what
I
does
can
that
think
have
of.
to do with what the fuck I said?
So I'm saying if you ever let yourself have those moments
singing
where
a
you
song trying to get laid like a peacock. You weren't imagining like a kid.
No, I was alone in my car.
No, you were thinking about getting laid, and then you sensed puss, and you turned and you fucking fired. That's not kids.
I did go into dancer mode.
Dancing is not. I know I said that, but dancing's not the same thing as pretending you're on lava and fucking run around, like climbing a display of coffee and going, "I'm on a mountain," and believing you're on the fucking mountain.
Well, that's because when you're a kid, you can do that, and people are like, "Oh, he's a kid." When you're an adult and you do that, people are like, "Oh, we need to give him drugs and arrest him."
That's the question. Why? Why as adults are we fucking sitting there and fucking snuffing that shit out, Brandon?
Well, I'll just say that I don't think it's human nature. It's just I think it's a product of
Why
our
don't you sing that song, sit dance, Dave?
human nature. And because
it's human nature, something Gillespie. What the fuck is he saying?
Oh.
What do you do it that way?
I don't remember that song.
Michael Jackson.
I mean, I
Remember
kind
the
of remember.
Pointer? You know, you're muted for a while. Go ahead, Brandon.
I remember the.
Remember the Pointer Sisters?
Oh yeah. I'm just
That
burning
Michael
it,
fucking
doing a neutron
butt rape boy
dance.
Jackson.
he likes his sister's pointy.
Yeah, he likes his. I like fuck
Like
men,
nuns?
fucking men, not men, fucking boys. Like man.
I was gonna say
You
The,
started train porn. Shut up.
yeah, you did start with train porn. And you just referred to regular porn, like gay porn, like it was regular
Yeah,
porn.
you're just
That's
like,
what
It's
you
just
know
porn.
what? Yeah. Brandon, don't
Yeah.
get right. And
What?
I know there's gays out there. They're not watching this. But I know there's gays out there, and they're like, yeah, it is regular porn. Nope. That's
Hey.
why when you go on Pornhub, you have to select a separate button. And once
I
in a
happen to
while,
think-
when you're tired, you hit the wrong button. You're like, fuck. God damn.
I happen to
that's
think
sucks.
all porn matters, so I don't discriminate.
Tranny
TPM.
toilet paper machine.
Tranny porn matters.
I'll never play a game. I don't know.
Oh my god, that's either the best machine ever or the like I'm not going near it. Like, does it dispense it to you, or does it just kind of is it just like a loop?
It's what a kid in the 6th grade science fair makes. I made toilet paper.
and you don't want to go near it.
It's just a whirling dervish destroying your ass.
Whirling dervish.
It's just a belt that you back your
Hey,
ass
Whirling
up
dervish,
against.
Brandon. Gay porn or train name.
I'll
Depends.
say
Is dervish a proper name?
with a gay train in it.
Hello, I'm dervish. Whirling dervish.
I think I can. I think I can.
I think I caneth. I think I caneth. I think I come. I know I come.
I think I came. I think I
Brandon,
can.
That's the Dave movie.
So you said whirling dervish. That brings me to my point about I was gonna just cut this right off, but no, the India I was gonna say about India, because people there live. A lot of people there
Do the
live
voice.
more.
You want to do it.
Oh yes, you know we are so happy to see you.
Look,
Oh.
we're all in parts of India.
Yeah.
have a
Hello, I'm
tiger.
in Bombay.
I'm in the back of my convenience store.
Hey Dave, you are in Delhi. Can you get me a quarter pound of American cheese?
I need a rug.
So I think
There's the
those
fake
people,
things.
a lot, not the ones that come here, because the ones that come here, you know, they're terrible.
They're
But
fucking great.
no, they are. I just went. I
Oh.
go to a store, and I love even the religion. So I think that they just have a different outlook on life. So they're actually happy with what they have. And I think in this society, a lot of people aren't happy with what they have, and it really just has to do with the way we were raised. We're kind of taught more to look outside for happiness and validation instead of inside, and they're kind of taught to do it inside. So they remain like a child, because as a child, what do people always tell them? You know, quit fucking around, quit being a kid. They yell at them and all this. You know, that's what.
But there are, as you know, there are some parents who don't say that. But those kids
Yeah.
still stop and then they just stop doing it. Even the kids that are told, "Be wild, motherfucker, do your thing," they stop doing that.
I could
Creativity
say-
doesn't end. Imagination doesn't end.
Yeah,
But how we express it ends. And why?
I think
I
that
mean, we'd
you
be
could.
nuts if that happened.
Yeah.
If everyone just running around pretending they were
Yeah.
ponies. It'd be fucking weird shit.
Well, I think it's important to do it sometimes, and that's what I do. I do that a lot, actually. And
Be a
even, like,
pony or just imagine.
yeah, a pony all the time.
You have
And
ponytail now, though. That's not
Dave
fair.
rides me,
Yeah.
not in a gay way. All right, we're not. It's
You
not in a
my
gay
pony.
way. I'm
Is
a
it
pony.
the Brandon imagination or a
and
gay
he rides
boy?
me.
Background music for the village people. Both.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of what that is. That's a good question though, because they say you should get in contact with your inner child, and you should.
Fuck
Touch
the
your
shit
child.
out of 'em.
This is the
You
this is the
should
thing.
diddle the shit out of your inner. If you're out there wanting to diddle a kid, diddle your
It's
inner
your inner.
child. That's the child you diddle. You don't diddle someone else's kid. Reach inside your butthole
Someone
and
else's
touch your
kid.
kid inside.
There you go.
How far up do you have to go?
I
reach
believe the
kid.
children are the inside. Put your finger
Well,
right in your
Dave,
butthole.
That's all up to
Touch
you.
a little inner child in his butt. Yes, that's a butt in a butt in a butt in a butt in a
Two
butt,
butts inside of you.
And now I sing this, I'm on crack. I decided long ago I'm better than people when I'm on crack. I sang the national anthem, and ever since then, black people
she
do it like
did.
la la la. And it's bad. It really sucks. So no one diddled Bobby Brown because your inner child is sexy. It's okay to pinch his butt because he's not real and you can abort him if you do drugs.
I don't think it's fair to blame.
Fuck you. That was amazing.
No, I'm just saying I don't think it's fair to blame Whitney for like the vocal gymnastics.
I want you to compliment this. I just did what kids do, and you both stared at me like people in a store.
Yeah, this is why adults shouldn't do it.
That was one of the greatest songs of all time.
I was going to join you, but then you started making your own words, so I didn't want to ruin it.
I started making my own words, and there wasn't one word that was
the greatest
song.
love of all is
He
the
didn't
correct
even
lyric.
say
the greatest kid of all is inside our butts.
The greatest.
You're right.
Bug
Okay, so when
of
you said
all.
the greatest, I was like, all right, I'm down.
Brandon, which part do you think wasn't my own word?
You started. I knew you started off
Shut
already.
down.
That part she sings.
Whitney
about
doesn't talk about butts. I thought it was about fingering
He
Bobby
talks
Brown.
about aborting the inner child.
I thought that's how he got the name Bobby Brown. I thought it was Bobby Brown finger.
Bobby Brown had his name way before Whitney did crack cocaine. That's the rhyme.
Bobby Brown finger. He wasn't Bobby Brown finger before he met Whitney though.
That's how you think he got New Edition.
That was
Go
the
ahead,
newest
Ralph
edition.
Tresvant. Touch my butt. That was another person in New Edition.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you should, but you know the pointers is fucking.
Yeah.
If it's black talented men, he doesn't know it. But if it's black women that want to be men, he's all about it.
That's a man, baby.
All right. Who's next on a question?
Are we still talking about?
Find me.
All
I
right.
could go. Well, I was waiting
All
for
right,
Dave.
Brandon got a
I
question.
said who's next. You both stared at me like I just sang that song.
I was giving Dave a second to try
Don't
to
give me 1 second. Just jump it. We don't have time.
retort.
You're from the
Okay, yeah,
future.
no.
You should have already answered.
I
That's
am from the
true. You
future.
should know what the next question is.
You should be on
That's
the
it.
next podcast.
My question to you is, all right, we'll talk about the masks because you brought it up, right? So if they get rid of the mask orders and the laws, if they ever, if they did in Texas, but if they ever do here,
Oh yeah.
how long do you think it would take before people actually stop? I mean, there's always going to be some people, but I don't mean like the 2% or 5% of people that are just retarded. I mean, like
Regular society that's been brainwashed.
yeah.
It's going to take a long time. The one thing that's going to help, but I don't mean this in a positive way, is that they're replacing the word mask with the word vaccine. And people, I mean, that's all they're doing. A year ago was you can't go here without a mask. You can't do this without a mask. You can't go to Java. Now that word mask is gone. You can't travel here without a vaccine. You're going to have proof of the vaccine. It's all that now. So I think a lot of the people, I have family members that are very afraid. I have family members that will say to me that we can't hang out. They can't wait till the day that we're all together again and everyone has their vaccination shots. That's a real thing, though. I mean, I can't get mad at them for where their minds are. They were also the older generation of people were raised to believe the government. We're raised to trust them when bad things happen. Not in all the good, not everything, but that's a lot of them are that way. So I'm not saying everyone, but some are.
Think about it. You got asbestos. Everyone was told was great.
And by the way, it's that worst dose.
Yeah. Asbestos or worst dose.
What a weird name for like the shittiest thing.
Asbestos, the cancer maker. Instead of
mesothelioma.
Yeah. You better not mess with ophelioma. You know what I'm saying? Ophelioma.
I'm gonna start a breakfast company, and we're gonna make the best toast.
Nice. I'm gonna have a song by Tina Turner. Simply asbestos, better than all the rest of us. By the way, I like Brandon's thing where it's just, and I pictured the same fat black boy that Dave put up earlier, whose name was Ophelioma.
Ophelioma.
Don't mess with Ophelioma.
Yo, guys, I really miss Ophelioma.
It's Ophelioma. Lupus, get over here. That's the two children's names.
Lupus.
Just Lou.
Whatever happened to Lupus? He took the bus.
Lupus. I do think there'll be people, a good 20%, that will be happy to shed the mask like it's a graduation hat, and they're going to throw it in the dumb hair, but like a graduation hat, not know what to do once they threw it in the air. Like they're going to do it, but they're still going to be afraid. They're still going to keep it, but they're going to say, I'm free of it. I'm going to go do things, but they're not going to go do things. Little thing, but not going to just go back to normal. The world ain't never going back to normal. Not 100%. It's just not, because too many people are going to be afraid, and because people are going to, it's changed. We've given power away, and once you give power away, you don't get it back. That's just not how power works.
I will say this.
I want to add something too after you're done, Dave. Go ahead, though.
Sure. I will, like, to what you said before, Pat, about the, like, you need to do this, you have to have a mask, and now it's you need to do this, you have to vaccine. Like, they tried the same thing with condoms, and that didn't get me to wear those either. So fuck off.
Well, they didn't. I mean, I know you're joking, and I'm so happy we waited for Brandon's answer for that.
Me too.
Yeah. This is what it feels like when you sing and no one applauds.
First of all, the two of you were in awe.
I love it.
You were like, this guy is good at fuck you, Weird Al. Take that, you stupid bitch. I'm so much better than you.
You weird motherfucker.
That I know you're joking.
What?
We've never had
condoms
of this nature before, besides the draft. And even the draft, you could avoid easier. You could avoid a mask in a grocery store.
I don't need to wear a mask. I got flat feet.
Think about that. You could get less trouble and less shamed if you avoided the fucking draft to go say a thing that could put you to war than it was to wear a mask and be shamed in a store publicly because of social media.
Yeah.
Imagine a draft now is social. Holy shit. They're just fucking doxing the fuck out of you because you don't want to go fight for a thing you don't give a fuck about.
That's so crazy. And just to add
also
quickly,
imagine John Lennon on Twitter. He'd be so annoying.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh, he was. Some people should have died young. Like he's definitely one of them. He would have sucked.
I can't believe they're still making war, man.
So I heard this theory, and I think it's pretty interesting.
Like, Chick-fil-A doesn't believe in war, man, but I believe in Chick-fil-A.
He'd be so corporate too, sold out. Like shop at Whole Foods, everybody, or I don't know.
He's like, come to me in Yoko's Candle Hut. It's like, oh no, they have a candle hut. They would have a candle hut. It would be made out of their own vagina hairs.
They'd be living there in the candle hut. They wouldn't even sell candles. They're like, come to our candle hut to buy fucking vagina or Cherokee tampons.
God, at this point, him and McCartney would have a podcast.
Oh my God. The candles would be all Beatles songs and names.
We'd just be talking about like the way it was and the way it is now, man.
It'd be like a podcast shitting on Ringo. Like, where's Ringo, man?
Like, I'm the producer of the show.
Shut up, Ringo. Shut up. Turn off his mic.
Somebody on Twitter, this lady named Flat Cat. She's a pretty good follow on Twitter. She's a very nice lady. And she put a thing about someone was just thread back and forth, and someone said something. She had met Paul Best once. And she's like, someone asked about being the Beatles because he's not really thrilled when you ask the question, because I did about the Beatles thing. I go, well, because you met him at his Paul Best, not his Paul. I'm fine with it. Very proud of it. Nice. You had me at my Paul Best. You can't handle me at my Paul Worst. Why is he not doing that quote? You can't handle me at my Paul Worst. You don't deserve me at my Pete Best.
And that's why he got kicked out of the Beatles.
I know I called him Paul after. I know it's Pete. Who gives a fuck?
His daughter asked. She got married and took the other guy's name, but kept her name. So it's asked Best Dos. Because
I thought it was going to be her second wedding.
Spanish.
Her second Spanish.
Two of them.
She kept Best.
Dos.
Best Dos.
No, because they don't call him Junior.
Oh, Dos.
That's it. They don't call him Junior. They call him the second.
Dos. El Dos. I am El Midla man. El Dos. So I heard this crazy theory that you know how everybody turned on smoking on a dime? Like doctors used to tell pregnant ladies to smoke. It was good.
Oh, yeah. It was the best thing you could do for yourself.
Put DDT on your baby because it keeps the bugs away.
Doctor and that baby came out with a fucking cancer kazoo in its neck. It's fine. You're just dumb.
That's how a manly sound.
Like Walter Cronkite was born, or whoever has like a deep voice. I don't know.
Or me.
Or Pat Oates. But there's actually, you could look and there's posters of that and DDT, like it's good for your baby. So then
whenever Jake the Snake Roberts would get that fucking headlock on a kid, just snap back the old DDT.
It's good for you.
They didn't know shit. What was it like? Wasn't thalidomide okayed by the FDA?
Yeah, but see, the thing is, you say
don't blacks have an extra ligament? That's fine.
Dave's like they didn't know
how
shit.
They run and jump.
It's not that they didn't know shit. Or you could say, how about this? What if they did know shit and they just want to, there's certain people that just like to fuck with people, or who knows, I don't know what it is, make them weaker as a population. So maybe this is just the newest thing. And so what if the table's on this turn, and then all the people who got this, and just so you know, I've said this before, but it's not a vaccine, it's a gene therapy. It's an experimental gene therapy. If you look it up on the CDC
I'm
website,
gene therapy.
I knew it.
It's gonna be every.
It's very experimental. We're going.
That should be a total character. We should be. I'm going to be gene therapy on TikTok.
And I'm asbestos.
Oh, your vaccine. I'm gene therapy. I'm very experimental. So
let me put it in you.
What I heard was Pete put it in you. I don't know why I said Pete, but then I just immediately thought of Pete Angelo. I think
Pete Best, right? Were you going to
yeah.
Hey, Doc, Doc, I'm having problems when I pee. I need you to check my prostate. Don't stop till you hit my inner child.
Don't stop till you get enough
of my inner child. He's deep in there, Doc, deep. So the theory goes that
maybe prostate exams aren't really either.
No, they're not. Oh, no. So
apparently, I've never gotten one, but I'm not letting somebody fucking look for Chilean miners in my corner.
Apparently, prostate exams are one of those bullshit things that you don't even need to do. There's other ways to what prostate cancer is. There's other ways to avoid it and to work with it.
Yeah, it's like not fuck someone with cancer in the butt.
People think it's a humiliation ritual.
Will you work with me?
Even though the doctors don't know.
One-sided.
Cancer. Oh, geez. Can you hang out somewhere better like the boobs? We did. We ruined that. Now everyone has to go.
I got a question.
Could you just lay off the prostate for like a day?
Never mind the mask.
Please.
Never mind the mask question. The other question is, if you were gay and you were on state insurance, you would go from doctor to doctor to get prostate exams.
Hold on. I'm still
it's a doctor.
If I was gay and how all the problems I've had in life would not be around.
Touche. Next question. That's what Grindr's for. But no, what if you had like a doctor fetish?
I just had a fucking moment.
Okay, then while you have your moment, I'll finish what I was really going to say, the serious part, which is people think when they flip the script, Pat's going to try to be gay now. He's going to look for this.
No. I just don't have the ability. I don't like men.
Oh, yeah, no, but
holy shit, if women were in my life besides my mom and my daughter, holy shit, it would have been so easy.
No shit.
I wouldn't be here in this fake apartment.
And his sisters.
No. They've caused me problems.
I'm just kidding, because I know them, so I'm like
trying to but they still cause. I knew what I was saying.
Yeah, I know. Your brother's still fucking awesome, though.
He's not a lady.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying because I know he's listening. So what if they flipped it? What if the script gets flipped on this and everybody realizes, it was terrible to do, and now they think these people are somehow altered.
We still talking about prostate exams?
I think gays now.
Gays. People who take the gene therapy, quote unquote, vaccine that people are calling it.
Hello, I'm gene therapy.
Hello. People took me last night very deep into the inner child.
I have a very special set of skills. I grab men named gene therapy and I fucking butt rape them. What about your daughter in France? I said I have a very special set of skills.
Fuck that bitch. You shouldn't have went.
We're gonna cure your prostate cancer by making you watch Silver Streak, followed by Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, followed by
I'm Liam Kissam, and I'm here to smooch dudes.
A very particular set of skills.
No, I think you're right with all of that. I think we always are just changing what their angle is.
Well, so to go further, what if then those people are now by the
those people we mean blacks, right?
Yeah, of course, obviously. The people who took the gene therapy shot, quote unquote, vaccine. What if they now are become ostracized in society because people are worried that they're going to get their DNA fucked up
put
from
my
them?
head in a hole and my butt up high like an ostrich. Hello, I was already doing that anyway.
I was ostracized. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need a rape kit?
Isn't that the Richard Simmons video? Let's get ostracized.
Yeah, you work your way down the animal kingdom. It starts at elephant. You work your way down to ostrich.
White man. I'm a leotard, and I'm a retard, and we're here to pump you up.
We can't jazzercise anymore, guys. Sorry, Miles Davis came back and fucking
more like jizzercise.
Miles Davis was an incredibly talented person, and most of the world knows him as the guy. You're not cool enough unless you piss your pants.
I don't know
Let's
that.
talk about that.
I don't know
Peeing
that
your
story.
pants is cool. Consider me Miles Davis. Yeah, see, you know right away. It's the Adam
Yeah,
Sandler line. Fucking
I thought somehow Miles Davis is the first guy to piss himself.
Oh, that's hilarious.
first one to own it.
Yeah, piss my pants. Everybody cool's doing it.
I piss my pants and it goes like this. Drips.
I piss my pants and it sounds like a Jello pudding pop commercial.
Why does the pee drip when you're over 40? What is that?
What?
You got to get your prostate diddled.
That's a Paul joke, Paul Gregory.
No, this is a real thing I'm saying right now.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
I'm leaving splotches.
I know.
I gotta sit there and drain. I'm like, what the fuck? I know I'm done. Happening.
I think it's from jerking off.
Nah. Like I took a break from that and that was still happening.
Oh, really? I'm trying to take a break. It's rough.
Peeing?
You definitely need to
I'm
lay
taking a
off of
break
that.
from peeing. It's real tough.
It's like I look like Miles Davis over here.
But Brandon, you're
Brandon,
right.
if your
They
cock
always
is rough,
change
you
their
should leave
minds
it
on
alone.
things. But the one thing they should have never changed their mind on, women shouldn't vote.
Guys, I'll take it further. I mean, I'm against voting. No one should vote, but I don't think women should
No,
drive
really? Oh, no. Chinese women? Get out of here.
unless they pass a
Your
very
hands are for
rigorous
10
test.
and 2 jerking off, not driving.
And when I say women, there's men who cannot drive, and I classify them as women as well.
That's who identifies as women, the ones who can't drive. Ones
That's
who
how you do it?
cannot drive. I'm not allowed to drive, but I can drive.
I can't. I just choose not to.
I wish I could.
Oh, wait.
That and not having women in my life would change everything.
Well, that's a funny thing. You
If I
can't
was
drive. so
gay,
you-
if I was a gay chauffeur, I'd be crushing it.
A
Pat,
dick
you-
chauffeur.
You can't drive.
yeah.
You ain't getting women.
I
You got a
one.
car? No, you put your dick in me, and that's a ride. Come on.
That's the right.
Hey,
That's
just
the
don't
right.
judge those shitty puns. I'm gay, not
I
funny.
just
Hello.
stare at them and go, "That's the right. Get in." My butt.
Get in.
Get in.
Get in my penis.
No, Dave. You don't get in the penis.
Dave,
You're even a shitty gay.
I think he just said that to throw us off the gay porn.
Yeah, he's like,
joke.
I don't know how
watch
gay works.
porn.
Like, whatever.
Well, how do these penises work? What do? Do you get inside of it?
Oh,
Is
these
that what you have to do?
cockmasters.
What are these gays doing getting inside each other's penises?
You call it
Were
what?
Were you being Travolta?
Maybe.
No,
Who, me? Or
Brandon. That was
Brandon?
kind of, that was
I
very
don't know what I was
Travolta.
That was like Travolta and Seinfeld all made together.
Well, that probably
It was
happened.
a little bit of dice clay.
Gary Travolta.
Did I ever tell you about the Travolta story?
Who are all these people
The
staying
Travolta
alive?
story?
I got a good Travolta
You have a
story.
Travolta
Your own.
story?
I thought it was like, what is the Travolta story?
So a friend of mine who lives now, he used to live here in Connecticut, but he lives in Daytona and he sells cars.
Beach?
I was down there visiting him a couple of years ago, and he said about a year or so before that, John Travolta.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Let me tell you.
It was Hulk Hogan.
John Travolta and this other guy came rollerblading in like neon bright spandex.
Oh, they're gay as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Everyone knows Travolta.
But he said that he's like, he must be a good actor, but he's not very of a smart guy. Obviously, we would know that, but he's like just totally like an airhead, like nice guy, but just
I'm gonna even question he's a good actor.
okay, yeah.
He was a
all right.
shit actor, and then Tarantino found a role for.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you're-
there's just decent vessels for someone's image. Like, and Tarantino's the master of taking people who can't work in other movies for other people, like Michael Madsen, stuff like that. Not that not he's a bad actor, but like they all work just for him. And
Yeah, that's
Travolta
fair.
Travolta worked because you're like the whole time you're watching Pulp Fiction, you're going, there's great actors surrounding Travolta, tremendous actors, but you're watching it going, holy shit, is that John Travolta? We don't say that now, but you were like, holy shit, Travolta looks fat. Look at Travolta in a suit.
Yeah.
Look at Travolta not being all fucking Benny Barbarino and shit. That's why that worked. And they made him dance. Remember how many movies they'd make him dance in? So you go, oh yeah, it's Travolta because he'd scoot around a little bit.
And you
By
know
the way,
why?
Dave, it's a dancer. It's a real dancer. Are you mad they think Travolta's a good dancer? That man's not a good dancer.
He can move well. He's just not a
Or a
dancer.
pudgy fuck.
He's a dude who can dance. He's not a dancer.
You know why everyone works so well for Tarantino?
Why?
He
Okay.
touches their inner child so well
Through the butt.
in the butt.
You guys didn't like all that when I fucking had a song.
Past the
Oh, I
prostate.
loved it. I was just trying to see where you were going next. That's why I looked like
Where
I
I'm
was like,
going. Just go for the fucking ride.
I know I
believe
tried.
the
It's hard.
children are in your butthole.
One of the greatest songs of all time.
It is the greatest song.
If we ever broke down all these things and made like the Bunk U greatest hits, it would be so many tremendous songs.
The greatest songs.
We've sang so many classics. A lot of
Such
George Michael.
classics as. Oh, yeah.
A lot of George Michael.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, you got a question?
No.
All right. What the fuck is prayers? Like, why? Why? Now, I know what they are. I don't understand what they're with the religious side. But why do people, non-religious people, when something happens to them, ask you to pray for them? Or they know you're not religious, they ask you to pray for them. That's a fucked up thing to me.
What about when
they're like, oh, my dog's going through shit. Pray for me. And I'm like, well, I hope your dog's okay. And they're like, well, no, I need your prayers. I go, first of all, I don't pray, so it wouldn't work in your dumb magic. B, it's a dog. Grow up. You're on the internet asking me to pray for your dog. It's a fucking dog. If I have powers, if I have power messages, I'm not spending it on Fido. Like, I'm not doing it. So it's dumb. Why do you want me to pray for you? Why can't I just say, I hope everything works out? Why do I have to say God did something when a doctor did? Why do I have to fucking give credit to things that aren't there? Why do people need that bullshit?
I think you have a great point because doctors kill more people than anybody else. So they're
the only one. I mean, not when we say doctor, I'm going wide spectrum. So I'm saying holistics, people that try to cure things way more than magic messages.
No, I know. I was just trying to be.
No, but we're on the same board. I'm just saying that. So I don't even want to say just doctors. We can get into certain things. There are other ways to cure things. A witch doctor cures more than a fucking priest.
I think a lot of it has to do with belief. So it's really just a person curing themselves, but they just don't want to take credit for it. And I think it's more about attention. Like
I would definitely take credit for it.
And the worst is when somebody's like, I'll pray for you, honey. Like when they say it like sarcastically, they don't say that to me. But they're like, I'll pray for you. Like,
I'm gonna pray for that child.
I'll take a blowjob instead, even though I hate them.
I'll pray for you with my mouth full of dick. But that's how I pray. Put your dick in my mouth.
I say we pray. Pray. I say we pray just to make
That's why you get everything. That's why you get everything just wrong. Because praying with your mouth full leads to God's mistake. Like, what did she say?
Like, a kid grows up in a shitty neighborhood, right? His one parent leaves, the other parent. Let's say both parents leave. It's an inner city kid. Name the flavor, I don't care. Inner city kid being raised by grandma or an aunt or tribe people doing their best, and the kid's basically raising itself. It's dealing with fucking pressures of the world to do drugs, to drop out, to not do things because you don't matter. No one loves you. You're shitty. You're this and that, whatever. Fights through, finishes school, maybe gets a GED. Doesn't even get the diploma because he can't go to school because shit's so bad it has to fucking work when it's 15 years old. When they're all done, what does the family do? Thank God that fuck you. We don't give that girl 1,000,000% credit for fighting through and becoming better than everyone around him. It's because those people, most people who say, listen, if you believe in, we talked about this, if you believe in religion, I got no problem with you. But when you say religion or your prayers or your God is the only reason why things happen and not individual actual humans, it's because you can't do things on your own. So therefore you're like, well, I can't say that person did it. Because if I say that person did it, that means I could do stuff and I'm weak. So I'm just going to say it's magic.
And it's a good way to get rid of your personal responsibility because if it doesn't work out, you can blame God, and then
I like that
you
part.
have to take action.
I do like when someone's like, God had a plan. Like, my kid got hit by a bus. Didn't say it was a good plan.
Well, it was a shitty kid. So, I mean, God works in mysterious ways. This way wasn't so mysterious.
God works in mysterious ways.
I do like that.
Kid has a fucking disease no one's heard of. And you've got to go your whole life, spend all the money you ever had because you love this child or anything. And then someone goes to you, God has a plan. It's like, well, can someone fire God and get a new guy in there? Because his plans, if the football coach had that plan, they would have fired him 2 years ago. It's a shitty plan. Putting in the cancer kid. Get rid of sweep. I put the kid in the football game. And why do dying kids have to go meet John Cena?
Isn't that the most depressing thing?
I like wrestling, but I wouldn't want to meet John Cena before I die.
How is any kid cheered up by the words "I'm from Make-A-Wish"?
The best doctor.
Yeah.
That's my make-a-wish. Can I meet the
Exactly.
best doctor, please? If I get a wish of meeting anyone in the world, and you guys have me here at St. Jude's, because I'm done for, can I meet the best doctor? I think I have a new bit, by the way.
I
think
was just gonna
I have a
say
new-
Dude,
because
fuck you, Make-A-Wish, guys. I'm
you
gonna
can even
start
make it
praying.
really simple because all you got to do is, oh, my make a wish. It's how about a second opinion? How about a better doctor? Like you know what I mean?
How about a
Like,
cure?
yeah.
How about that? I'm making.
How about a doctor who has an idea? You know, like I don't know. Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, can you get me out of this medical center that wants to send me on a cruise with Snooki and the rest of Jersey Shore? Because I said I watched that show once.
They're putting me with cancer because I have cancer.
Yeah, hang out with more. You know, 'cause that won't make it worse.
Hey, you get to make a wish, buddy. What's your wish? I wish you had the cancer.
I wish I had one friend with hair. They just put them together. You guys can be friends, you know, because you both have no chance.
You
Do you
fucking
think?
lepers.
Do you think there's like the one kid in the cancer ward who's the cut up, and he just draws nipples on all the kids' heads while they're asleep?
You know, it's funny.
Answer Wood Cleaver.
That could lead us to the next thing we talk about, which
Hey,
is like
Beeve, where's my hair? I don't know, Cancer Ward Cleaver.
I'm trying to think of a funny name for Eddie Haskell. Like, what would be Haskell that sounds like
Eddie?
Eddie Chemo or something? I don't know.
Eddie Chemo.
Hey guys,
That's not
it's your
for that show,
buddy.
but that's the name I'm calling people for. Hey, Eddie Chemo over there.
Eddie Chemo.
I remember when I was a kid, there was the first time I ever heard of chemotherapy. And I said, I did say, is
Gene's
that the guy with
cousin?
the Lone Ranger. And my uncle just looked at me. He didn't say anything. I was little, but I was like, with the Lone Ranger? And he's like, okay. Hope the other ones are smart. They were.
By the way, the original iteration of the Three Stooges, chemo and therapy.
Chemo and therapy and Shemp.
But therapy was black, so they're like, nope.
Shemp would just be hemp.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I got lupus. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
What is he, Irish?
Oh, my nose fell off because I have leprosy.
Boom, leprosy, perfect. Because you
Yeah.
know how they used to separate lepers, and people now are like, that was so dumb because you know this and that or whatever.
Because of Jesus.
Well, because it
dumb to
wasn't
separate
really,
them
they
'cause
found
of
out it wasn't
Jesus.
really transferable that way or something, whatever. But like they do the same things now, and that always happens. Like people will make fun of people in the history, kind of like Dave was doing before, but just joking around. But like back then, but then they still do it now. They still do
Did
more.
your arm
retarded
fall
shit
off?
now.
It's floating by your head.
Uh-oh, can you hear me?
Do you know how you catch leprosy?
Uh-oh.
Someone gives
With
you a
their
hand.
hands.
Someone gives you a hand.
There you go. Mine was better.
What if you drop it though? Then you wouldn't catch leprosy.
Every day, I would go, give me 5. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. Give me, and they hand you their hand. The more you know. All right. How do we get to lepers? Oh yeah, God. God's an unrelenting fuck. Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, so why do you think it is that people in the society will make fun of things in the past that they're basically currently doing just in a different way?
Because
It
we're
makes
dumb.
them feel better about
Because
what they're
people
doing.
want, especially this generation, especially this last 50, I wouldn't say 50, 30 years, we are fucking obsessed with being better than every other generation. We never were that. Every time before was the past. They knew more. You listen to your elders. Other people did things. We would before 10 years ago, we had the best span of inventing things, of advancing life and all that. And no one really gives any of that credit. We're like, all right, we have the internet now. This thing that's so insane that we even have, that we can communicate with the world. We're kind of like, yeah, whatever. We wouldn't have done that 30 years ago. So what we do now is we kind of like pretend we're doing shit. You know what I mean? Like, because there's nothing left. You know, every song's been made, every movie's been written. We're fucking just running out of shit to do. We can't think of things anymore. So what do? We just go, well, we think this now. It's like we've always thought that. Like we never thought slavery was good. No one sat there and said you should indenture people. But now we go, we know it was bad. We know. And now I'm going to tell you I know because I wrote a meme. And that meme has a picture of Denzel Washington training day going, at least I'm not driving. Or the fucking I don't know. Something with black people. Whatever the fuck it is. This, all we do is we fucking sit there and we fucking do exactly what Brandon said. We just pretend like we're fucking not doing what we did before, but we're doing it good and in bad.
And slavery too.
We're afraid
Slavery still exists. We're like
it's better than ever.
Well, it's a mental slavery.
New and improved slavery.
I know you're saying
it is.
But even the actual physical one is working great.
Well, this is the thing, though. If you go back and look at actual antebellum slavery, it wasn't
all
how
I do. Lady,
it wasn't
antebellum slavery.
This sounds like when people say it, they sound like it racist. But it wasn't as bad as they said. You know, I read this in a book written by a black guy, so it's like, what the fuck? But he said like a lot of people didn't want to leave the slavery because they were basically homesteaders. They were living on the land. They had good relationships with the people. Like if you look at a lot of these personal accounts, and then this quote unquote civil war happened and they forced them off like some of these people didn't want to leave. They forced them to go fight a war. It's like, no, we want to stay here with our chickens and our family. They would have this thing called like a slave weekend.
Their chickens.
There's like a slave weekend or something. Yeah.
I want to read this book. What's it called? Slavery. It was awesome. Written by.
Do you know how good chicken is? And more wives' tales.
And then the other thing is, if you just look at how life was in the North, you would have been a factory worker that would have probably been dead by the age of 35, and you would have started working at like 7 years old.
Yeah,
so
you would have a 20-year career.
You're a slave too. Everybody was a fucking, you know, it's a what's the word? It's a narrative. You know, they just pick this narrative and they
What's the N word I'm looking for? That's a new game we should play. Narrative.
Which N word is it?
We're all wrong always.
What is it? What word should you never call a black person that starts with the N and ends with the R?
Neighbor.
Yeah.
I love that joke. Jim Neighbor.
Hey, I got that wrong.
All right. Yeah, you did.
But did you?
All right, that's our show, folks. Well, see, I guess never after that. No.
Read my new book, Neighbor Jim.
That's a bit.
You could literally put that book out right now. And
oh God, yeah.
Neighbor, and everybody be cool with it because because it's gentrified.
Just going down the river on a raft with my neighbor Jim.
You don't change anything else. It's just Neighbor Jim, and all of a sudden that book is accepted and now thought of as like the melting pot of books.
Pat, you just solved racism, even though
it's that
fake.
simple. Just change the names.
Just rewrite Huck Finn as a journal.
I didn't say
neighbor
change,
Jim.
I said think. That think over there. You know how smart they are? Like, yeah, we're smart.
I didn't say Jew. I said shoe. I said put your shoe in the oven.
I said Jew.
I didn't say Chinaman. I said Chinese man. Chinese man over there.
Man. You know, because they're little. Kind of a man. Was that worse? All right.
Well, then what are we going to call little people?
We're going on that route. Let's go there.
Oh.
Recently, I had to get an app.
Hang on. Let me get my hood.
Okay, good. No, it's going. I had to get an app for the Peacock network or streaming system because the WWE network has sold their fucking network to Peacock. So it's on there. It's got a bunch of things. It's not great so far. It's got some old TV shows. It's got a lot of NBC type shit, some movies. They're going to add more all the time, whatever. But I got it so I can watch fucking WrestleMania. The categories. Now, listen, if you're on Netflix or different things, you're starting to notice this, but the categories on Peacock are fucking insane. Because the first one is women-led movies. And you're like, all right, fine.
On everything.
Second one is movies written by women. Okay, whatever. You know, and then the next one is black-led movies. Movies written by black people.
I find it convenient.
Just classics. And all classics are written by white people.
Well, they're just letting you know right up front.
So how come they don't write? Listen, if you're going to write classics and not put all the movies, you're not just putting movies made by white people, because you can't do that. How come? Why can't we at least, if we're going to do this and we're going to say, listen, you should believe in black businesses, which, by the way, You should believe in any business you believe in. You should invest in anything that you think works for you. I'm not going to invest in a business because it's owned by a black person. That's as just racist as the other thought. They go both ways. I'm going to be open-minded to check out all businesses before I just jump to the first one. Yeah, because you should do that anyway. That's how life works. You shouldn't just jump at the first fucking thing. It shouldn't be about race or color or creed or whatever. And the same thing with a fucking movie. But it should say great movies written by women, because it's just they're shitty movies. You wanna know why? Because not all women can write, not all men can write, not all women can dance, not all men can dance. It's just written by a fucking woman. The best women on Saturday Night Live, there's 3 of them, and none of them are in those clips because they're so rich they don't want their shit on Peacock because they're better. You show me a great, there you go, Ben. You show me a great, this point, all we need is like this Dixie song behind me. I'm fucking killing it. You show me a tremendously funny female comic, and I'll show you someone who never thinks about being a female comic because she's so good and she works hard just like a man or anyone else. She's just a comic.
Yeah, agreed.
It's the shitty ones that say I'm a female. It's the shitty ones that want the pass, like the prayer thing and everything else. The ones who just out there, I'll throw it out there and just go, you know what? I'm not going to get anything, so I better play this card. And they go, because it's my time. First of all, you weren't treated poorly. You're 19 years old. Your whole life you've been told you're wonderful. So stop that shit. Yes, in the past, people made mistakes, but it doesn't mean that we fucking cancel and whitewash them away or fucking scold people for them. You learn from shit. I'm 46. I've learned from all my mistakes, but I don't ever pretend like they're not there and cancel them. They're fucking still there. I wouldn't be who I am without them. And I'm not going to watch a fucking movie because fucking Gwyneth Paltrow wrote it. That's stupid. She made cunt candles. Question is why? Why are we this? Why can't we just say, give everybody a chance? End the discussion.
Pat, I have a question for you.
I asked the question.
Yeah, but I want to go back to something you asked before. And, this is the first time I got a chance.
My mic, and then you couldn't see me slap the mic. So it didn't really work.
So about what you were saying before about you support businesses because you believe in the business. It doesn't matter if the owner is black or whatever.
Yes, I'll eat white chicken.
Okay. Well, no, my question is, does it matter the color of the business owner in conjunction with the type of business?
No.
So you're saying
I go to a Burger King run by Indian people.
So you're saying you'd go to a white owned dry cleaner?
Yep.
Why? They're so bad at it.
Why would I go to a dry cleaner? I wear 3 hoodies.
Well, if you want to get them clean.
I don't go to a dry cleaner, Dave. And if I did, I would go. You know what? I would be honest with you. I would be like an old person. No, if I did go, I'd be like an old person. And I'd go to the local one. I wouldn't even look. I wouldn't go traveling around. I'd find the local one and I would try them out. Now, if they didn't do the job properly, I'd find the next local one. I'm more local. A, because I don't drive, but B, seriously, more importantly, I rather believe in things around me where I live and take care of that city or whatever than the color of their fucking skin or they're a man or a woman. Local, small business is great, but it doesn't have to be a black small business. Right now, there are white farmers who aren't getting money because they're white and they've worked their whole life, and black farmers who are getting money just because they're black. And there's some of them are like, we don't want that money. We're not in your dumb game. It's a dumb thing where they're not doing it to help people. They're doing it to fucking stop people from yelling them on Twitter. That's what the world's become. We don't want to get yelled at by a small bitch minority. They're not real. In comedy, those shitheads who run Twitter, guys, they're not at comedy clubs. They're not there. They don't come to shows. They're just yelling out loud. Those same people aren't outside. They're not yelling at you. They don't want to cancel you. They're just loud because they got a voice finally because they're dorks. Most of the world doesn't give a fuck about other people's opinions. Do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. Believe what you want to believe. Don't be a dickhead to other fucking people. Just treat people not even the way you want to be treated, the way you want to be treated in public in front of others. That's it. But to put on a show, to be fake, for someone to say all they do is think about if Chinese people own a fucking laundromat, oh my God, that's more racist than anything else in the world. You're just thinking about the race of the person more than a Klans member does.
I'll go to a white.
About who owns shit?
I'll totally go to a white.
Just go to a store.
I'll go to a white-owned dry cleaner. This is Pat Oates. In fact, I'm looking for whites. Where's
exactly
that?
What I didn't say. Like 100% what I didn't say. I probably said one of the nicest, best things I've ever said on the show. I didn't say white. I said local. I live in Ansonia. There's not many white businesses here. There really isn't. I would go to any business. And I don't understand why people give a fuck about that. I care more about local, because this is my tribe, this is where I live, than the fucking color of them.
I'd rather go to a store that's owned by an Indian
you're
because they're so much nicer than fuck white people. They're so mean
Well,
to you
I mean,
sometimes.
Brandon, even if you didn't want to, we kind of have to. We literally, no, I'm being serious. Like, there's more Indian stores than there aren't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's more
because
Indian
they're
people
small
owning it.
business owners.
And believe me, I remember working for Budweiser for the distributor when 9/11 happened. And I remember I was on my route selling beer, and I had to go there and get an order. And I walked into a package store in fucking near Grand Ave in New Haven. You know, it's a terrible section. There's fucking an Indian guy, and I don't know what Indian is. Back then, you didn't know. You're just like, oh, it's Apu. We were dumb, but whatever. It was fun. You went in. Like, hey, how are you? You called him the name of the store. Hi, Harry. Like, the guy's name's not Harry, but how are you? He's like, hello. And then you started getting the beer order. And I can hear on the radio in the background. And it's just like, they're talking about a tower not down. And they're starting to blame who did it right away. Just right away, they're already blaming him. And he looks and he's like, oh, God. And like, you can see, he's like, my world's over. My family's here. They know that shit. They know that they already got hate before. When this happened, they're going to be hated because they're in America for no fucking reason whatsoever. So the fact that they've made a comeback from that kind of thing, the same way the Asians will too from this thing, because as Americans, we are very forgetful in our hate. We kind of move it along. We pin it on new people. We're like
more
bullies in
efficient.
school. We find someone to pick on until they're like, they don't like the picking anymore. They don't care. They're just like, whatever. Then you move on to the next thing. And that's what we do. But now we're championing the weak. And I don't mean that in a race thing. Even with the white people, we're championing things that aren't strong. We're not saying if you're great at your job, you should be considered great. We're just saying if you have a job at all or even want one, we're just saying you're good because you don't.
We're adopting the virtues
that you
of
don't have
failure.
a job. It's so much more wonderful that you decide to be 300 pounds. Really? It's wonderful. You're beautiful. Have you looked up the word? That's not beautiful. Yeah. Have you learned how to fucking take a good picture of your face up close because you're a fat fuck and you know your angles? Good for you, Chubbs. You have to because your wrist doesn't work and you can't pull back. But that doesn't mean I'm going to say you're beautiful now. You're barely a woman. You're a mammoth. And I'm not going to give you credit for being gunty. Fuck off.
If I was that fat, I would always take my pictures from above so gravity could pull my face out.
If I was that fat, I wouldn't have to take my picture from above because a satellite would.
Just the face, though.
The other day, a kid at work fell and he was laying on the ground. I'm like, don't worry, Greenpeace will get you. He's like, fuck you. An old joke, but it's a good fucking joke.
Oh, that kid was fat.
Yeah, and he's half my fucking age. So we were at work last night and we had to throw all this shit out in a dumpster, but the fucking place brought those huge dumpsters, like the giant ones. So we had to throw out huge counters and all these things, and we had to do it off the dock. And they put the dumpster on the other side, so we had to walk around a truck instead of putting it right where it should be. We had to walk like 100 yards moving things for no reason. And it's like a dock that's 5 feet high in the air. So instead of walking all the way around the building to go to the door, I was just jumping out. And then when I had to go back in, I would use my hands like a gymnast, whatever, push up and just jump in. Bad heel and all, I still can run and do things. This kid would have to lay on it, and then he would fucking Rambo roll his way in. And I'm like, oh dude, what the fuck? And he goes, fuck you, we're not all limber like you. And I go, I'm twice your age. He goes, no, I'm 24. And I yeah, no, dude, that's awesome. And I high-fived him. He's a great kid. But he just owned it. He's like, no, you're not half. I'm 24. You're not 48.
You just made me think about something, Pat. I'm feeling my age, and the way I feel it is I used to be able to do this. I used to I can't do it like I used to. I thought that I get piled on by seeing the young kids they're replacing me, but they aren't. None of the younger generation, they can't. I've never walked around. This many people have been I could probably win in a fight. And
Dude,
it's
I can't
all
even
kids younger than me.
I can't even get people to be a DJ. Well, not now, but before all this crap, to to want to be a DJ because they don't want to carry and set up all the equipment. It's
they're like, well, can I just play the music? Can I have a crew?
They're like, oh, you got to set up the equipment. You don't have people to do that. I'm like, yeah, it's called you.
Yeah, we're at SBC.
Even at weddings, you work for a DJ company. Who do you think sets up the equipment for the DJ company?
Oh, can we get the bride to do it?
It's so funny when people go, like, I don't know what's going on. Like in the last 10 years, I mean, it's weird that young women are dating older men. It's so creepy.
No.
Like, I fucking get it. Because we're in better shape.
Yes.
It's not the mentality. If we're older and trying to fuck you and you're young, we got problems too. But like, I get it because you're just like, the guy can last.
Yeah, it's if the fucking 40-year-olds
could
were
change a
out
tire.
fucking the 20-year-olds.
And
I
plus,
mean,
Ridiculous.
yeah.
the plus what happens is like
Plus
we could take
size.
charge in a situation, and that's what a woman wants. It's they give shit tests all the time, and if they are allowed to walk all over a man, sometimes they'll keep him, but most times they're just like, this man is weak, I don't want to have kids with him.
So
Brandon,
if
how
th-
dare
if
you
that's
tell
a
women
certain
what
girl's
they like?
mentality. But to be honest, what I think it is that right now, 38 to 55-year-old men have more confidence than a 23 to 30-year-old.
Yes.
Oh
Because
yeah.
we're not
but I
being
also-
we're the last group of people not to be knocked down by society, especially white men, for being what we are.
Just being what you are. But
And
I
it's
also
like,
think Brandon
and if
is-
anything, now we're kind of at the point where it's like, with the internet, things like that, all the things we thought we were limited to, it's like, well, if I didn't learn this when I was younger, I can't learn it. Now I can learn anything.
right.
Now I can learn this. Now I can keep up with things. I can talk about things to people that are younger. There's no generational gap. We're all watching the same fucking shit. We're all reading the same fucking news. It used to be, no, if you were this age, you knew this. If some girl's into anime, I just get Crunchyroll app and boom, watching anime. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same fucking shit. Like, you can just all of a sudden do whatever you want to do and talk to people. There's no more of that huge gap like that. And the younger person
Oh, yeah,
is
it's
not going to do
insane.
that because they're like, I don't have to be like anyone else. I'm
This-
my own unicorn. It's like, unicorns aren't cool anymore, you fuck. You don't even know. It's like, it's crazy. We're supposedly the worst thing in the world, our age group,
Mhm.
according to them. I know why? Because we're the last ones left that can stand up. Yeah, and this is becoming a rally. And, and say, stay down, colored.
Brandon,
No,
Brandon, take down that flag quick.
Well,
I think, Brandon, I agree with
the
you.
key to the flag is this guy.
Indian
That's
guy?
where you start
Indian
asking
Anna
Leading the
Jones.
charge.
You start asking questions. Wait, a Native American with a that was a slaughter, guys. That's really what
no,
happened.
that's a naive American. Take the T out. Here's the
what I want-
blanket, stupid.
I wanted to comment on what you said. Oh my god. How is this
Sorry, I was
blanket
just
killing
crushing
me?
it.
How is this blanket not working? How? I had a conversation the other day with a person who I met this dude on Instagram, and he's a pretty big Owen Benjamin follower. He's like one of those bears, and he has one of the bear names that's like pretty well known. So a lot of people talking, like I've even heard Owen talk about him, and basically his Instagram page is just like shit posters. So there's no pictures of him, right?
Right.
So I was watching the stream with other bears, and then they invited me into talk, and I was talking to the kid. The kid's 15 years old, and he's like a fucking genius. I spoke with him for 4 hours, and it was like mind blowing. And the hurdles that I had to overcome in my life that took me 10, 20, 30 years, he did in like 2 years. Like he's either. And so I just kept saying, fuck you to him. Like, fuck you. Like I got
Right.
stuck in that because he was feeling like sad and despair. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, dude, I had to wait till I was 38 to figure that out. So there are
Well,
certain ones that are really dialed in, and we were able to communicate because like what Pat said, we all have the same point of reference now.
Well, I think Brandon, back to your earlier point, I think what's also going on is when it comes to masculinity and femininity, there are certain things like they exist. And there are certain things that we are
Not
designed
anymore.
to be attracted to. Well, that's exactly it. Is that we are a generation that still, acts
If you're a
masculine.
lady with a
presents
cock, see
masculinity.
you later.
Exactly. So like we like women
See, I
that have
don't want to be in
vaginas.
you.
So if like the idea of masculine and feminine, we still project masculine. So the feminine that exists in younger women, they're like, oh, I want to be around that. And the same thing that's going on with the younger generation now, like the 15-year-old as opposed to like the 30-year-old, they're seeing what their predecessors have grown up with, and we've been brought up to like switch values to now we value the virtues of failure, and they're like, this is horseshit. So they're figuring out earlier what the fucking people ahead of them have still got to live another 15 years to get to, let alone get through. Like that's why, because we went through it and we had those now we're in middle age, like, oh fuck. and they're
If you're
doing
done
it
being
at
a fag, I gotta go.
Oh no, no, I'm not done
We
being
had
a
different
fag.
carrots and sticks too. Like for us, there wasn't the porn and stuff and like the easy accessibility to women. We had to actually go out, go to a party, meet, like
Go out to a
now
store,
you
go
don't
back
have
in
to
the room
go,
with the curtains to
go
get your
walk around in
videos.
Walmart or Kmart. And now it's just so easy for them to just satisfy that same itch that we had kind of, but they're just doing it like because they're sitting in the basement playing video games, getting that, watching porn, getting that, doing all the stuff, talking to people online, getting that. Whereas we had to go outside and talk to people. We had, you couldn't just watch any movie or whatever we wanted to. And I was going to bring this up too as the last thing I guess we could talk about, which is TV. I think TV is really what kind of ruined. There's other things too, but it really destroyed society. Like,
Yes and no.
That's a
It
tough
depends.
one.
It depends. I
Yeah.
know what you're saying. It did and it didn't. It depends on how people utilized it.
Yep.
And what if it became your life, if it became the way you take views, or if it became a way of resource, or if it just became an entertainment. There are certain people who just used it for entertainment, didn't get brainwashed by things, didn't have that stuff happen, and it worked for them. But yes, I know what you're saying. But you can say the same thing on social media. You can say the thing about the newspaper. You know
It's
what I
all
mean?
a
Like
tool.
anyway, that
yes,
anytime
that's what
that
I'm
any
saying.
one group is in control of a message, it's not a good thing.
Agreed.
Except for Hitler.
I mean, he was doing good in 38.
Listen, maybe he chose the wrong group. I like a Jew. I mean, you show me a 38 Jewish woman, she's going to be attractive no matter what, especially when she's yelling at you. But 38 special, that's what it's all about. Just a Jewish woman. I'll take the 38 special. It's chicken soup and some cunt. But it's maybe he should have chose someone else. I don't know. Maybe the midgets. That would have been sweet. Hitler just hated midgets.
Oh my God, he could have saved so much room in the camps.
Just an easy pick. He's just throwing them in there.
He just needs a 40-watt light bulb.
And the Jews run it. They're like, 40 what? What? What, Bob? What, Bob, you did? What? 40 what? All right, we got to go. Guys, it's great there. Oh, I'm writing. I started writing again. I'm doing a writing project. Every day for 30 minutes a day, I'm just writing with no plan. I start a fiction story. And then at 30 minutes, I just fucking stop. And the next day, I pick up with no outline, no plan, no nothing. It's a fun. People out there are just trying to get the creative juices going again. It's a fun thing to do. I'm just making up a fiction story, and I just stop after 30 minutes and I continue. I'm putting it on Medium. If people want to check it out, I've gone 6 days already, and I've come up with a story I really like. I got an idea for a book now that I never thought I would even think of, but literally just started. I don't question it. I don't edit. I don't do shit. I just write for 30 minutes. When it's over, you stop. And you go the next day. And I'm going with it now, and I've got a bunch of shit going. If you want to check out dumb things I'm writing, it's been fun so far. It's called The Story of Some Guy, and it's fucking there's a lot of weird shit in there, but it's the way my mind goes. But it's been fun. It's like a dark comedy thing I'm writing. You can find me on Medium and check that out. Go on my Patreon, Pat Oates Patreon. Got a bunch of good shit going on there. People have been jumping on and joining it. It's been great. What do you guys have to say?
I'd like to promote my TikTok, where I've been very active recently.
Nice.
I like the way that you can create there, but it does go to my Instagram and Facebook. So check me out on TikTok. It's Brandon_Bonanza. And I also want to say about this flag really quick, and it's Native American, that I believe that the Civil War was really more about exterminating Native Americans because they're getting along with the people who live in the South, and it wasn't really about ending slavery. So that's why I put the sign up, and they were just fighting for their lives in their homeland. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And why do you think they had that statue of that guy who had cigar stores? Because that's where they killed him.
Yeah.
And how? Dave?
I mean, after that, I'm just going to talk about Silk City hot sauce and call it a day.
I'm not. They don't. You guys aren't good enough for that.
Well, then fuck them.
No, they're wonderful. I've been going so hard. Believe me, I mean, it was my other podcast. Listen, yesterday it was a 10-minute thing on how, doesn't shoot kids in schools. Silk City hot sauce. Yeah. What? So I'm giving it a break with this episode here. Listen, I'll just say it flat out. If you want tremendous flavor in your food, thing that doesn't fucking overtake it, something that makes sure enhances it, not just to fucking destroys it, like blacks in your neighborhood. All you got to do is you got to go to Silk City hot sauce, use the promo code POS. You save 15% off. They have this cool thing now. You can get like a sampler. It's like 13 different things of the sauces and the syrups. Bunch are on there. Find a website. It's $123. You put the promo code in. You save 50% off that. It's gifts to give out to fucking everybody. It's amazing stuff. Locally grown. They're great people. So go over to SilkCityHotSauce.com. Put in the promo code POS. Save 15% off. Get a free bottle of cherry sriracha, some stickers, and some cool swag. And keep the last S for savings. I keep saying that. And they're like, you don't need to say that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm doing it. But, all right. Are we done?
I just want to say one quick thing. When I grew up, there was a black family in my neighborhood, which in Milford at the time was kind of rare.
Yeah.
And they were awesome people.
Because there's
so
water.
It's hilarious. Yeah, exactly. So it's so funny. I have all these paradoxes in my life. Like my dad works for the Jewish janitor.
By paradoxes, he means there's two black people and they're both named Docs. I got a pair of doxes. Good night, everybody. All right. Well, no, I forgot to stop recording. All right, now go away. Oh, by the way, sorry, Jews and black. We were kidding. You're fine.